Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak in the Bag show for Wednesday, April 25th, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. We love doing this show for you. Don't you, Jimmy the Bag?
I absolutely do. But people are acting as if the Coors Field Fade was going to win all 81 times.
No, certainly not. Certainly not. That's the way. Underdog lines go, especially in MMA, but in other sports as well. A lot of times when you're taking underdog lines, you're betting, well, it's like betting a futures odd. You know what I mean? Like if you bet, the whatever, some team, the LA Angels to win the World Series at 30-1, that means that you're predicting that really they should be winning it, once every 15 times instead of once every 30 times, right? Which means you're predicting that they will lose it 14 times out of 15 times, right? Now, if you're taking this Coors Field Fade and you're getting plus 250 every time, or even if you're getting plus 200 every time, and, it cashes 60% of the time, you're way ahead of the game, right, Jim?
Absolutely, absolutely. So everybody just take a deep breath, remain calm.
Why people jumped on the train now and they're upset that it's losing?
Yes.
Is that what happened?
But man, how easy was the over in the Zimmerman tie-on game? That was just
you just cashed that one, right, Jim?
I did. That was just
very nicely done.
Very, very, very easy. Over 7.5 with Zimmerman. We all know that we trust Zimmerman like we trust Costa Rican tap water, and we'll take overs nonstop. Overs nonstop.
Yeah, sounds good. Once again, I'm looking at the screen right now. We do have the BetMania logo up there. Once again, if you want to open an account at BetMania, use the link in the description box so that people know that you saw that link watching this show, because otherwise we won't get credit for it, and they'll say, we don't know if your show is valuable or not, and we'll be like, well, show me some KPIs, and we won't have any aside from the comments, and they'll be like, we don't give a fuck about comments, even though we give a fuck about comments. It's what we live for. No one else gives a fuck about that. So if you want to sign up for BetMania, please do the description link in the description box below the video. They have reduced juice, right?
Yeah.
Dime lines in baseball and a whole bunch of other stuff, which you can find out at sportsbookreview.com or at the BetMania site, right, Jim?
Yeah, it's actually a great site. Check it out. The happy hour is always good to grab a half point. We know those come in handy, and I've been impressed with what I've seen. So check it out. My man Art Hayes says the best show on earth.
Yes. That means a lot that means the world to me, means the world to Jim, means nothing to anyone else, but that's great. We love it. I live for this shit. Let me see that.
My man Art Hayes.
Let me see. Art Hayes. Best show on earth. Thank you so much, Jimmy the Bag. Jimmy the Bag, why does the world have to be so filled with dishonest, evil scumbags? Why can't there just be one or two? Why doesn't it have to be jam-packed with dishonest, evil scumbags? Why, Jim?
You know what? This is our own little bubble here. This is a safe zone where we are all one, and we are trying to Leche Alos bookmakers. We want to be the 2%.
Why couldn't the world be filled with people like the way our chat is, like the people our chat is filled with, Jim?
Yeah, man. This chat keeps me waking up and caring about the world. Jeremy M says, I tailed you on that over 8, Jimmy. I also took the Tigers money line plus 40. Get the fucking cash, Jeremy M. I love hearing that. We have more than that, man. My man Gate Pass Key.
Yes.
Thanks for the Pittsburgh over. Fuck yeah, man. And then one guy who's just been hitting with his totals is Todd Raymond. Says, told you, Washington, San Francisco over. And our man JP Fahey, who we have not seen enough of, said, I've been following low key, but need to get back into the daily live shows, and we need you back, JP.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me just read some comments here, because it makes me feel good. Paolo Marquez, shout out to Paolo Marquez. It's nice to see Jim so well in YouTube Heat. Really miss you last 8 days. Thank you so much, Paolo Marquez. Great to see you. Todd Raymond, watch in the morning and afternoon every chance I get to get that cash with all of you. Thank you so much, Todd Raymond. Alan Action, great to see you. Pete, Mr. Gokster says, live for this show. Parlay Poppy, glad to see this gruesome twosome back in action. That's awesome. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you so much to everyone, and especially Art Hayes. The best show on earth. Oh my God, Art Hayes,
man. And
oh my God.
Shout out to my man Khalif Lee. He told me that the Caps were the play, and he kept saying it. And I fell under the 30 unit mark, right?
Yes,
I'm 29.9 units. But man, there's some excellent cappers here on the show that are going to get us back. Big plus numbers.
Joshua Garay says, made it on time to what? To watch the best fucking show. Joshua Garay, thank you so much. Jesus fucking Christ. Jimmy the Bag, I can't hate this fucking world. All right, let's get into some handicapping. How about that?
Let's do it, man.
All
Team
right.
Low Bag, Brian George is ready to rock. Let's fucking rock.
All right, so we got MLB. Jim already cashed with the over in that Detroit game. Lost, I believe, with the San Diego game, and I got a push with the LA Angels on the second half, which was also a play that I gave earlier. Let's see what we got now. I guess let's start with the two 640 games, the Yankees and Cincinnati. I gave the Yankees second half at minus 130. Again, it's tempting to take the over here, and also in the Atlanta-Cincinnati game, Jim, you did take Atlanta on the money line, didn't you?
I did.
Yep, and I took Atlanta second half. I took Atlanta -1 in the morning. Kobe Valentine pointed out, which is accurate, that a lot of money coming in on Atlanta, but that there was a reverse line movement that favored Cincinnati. So he labeled Cincinnati best bet of the day, which I can certainly understand. But my sense is that Atlanta is just the better team here.
I heard there was a line movement towards the Reds. I heard the Reds were getting a lot of money, and I was supposed to be concerned.
No, yes, that's what I said. Is that the Atlanta was getting the money, but that the line moved in favor of the Reds, which indicates sharp money on Cincinnati. That was pointed out by Kobe Valentine in the morning, and that made him label it the best play of the day, Cincinnati. But we're on Atlanta here.
Yeah, I'm on Atlanta. I'm very comfortable with Atlanta. We got Acuna Jr. Giving a spark to this lineup. Not that the lineup needs a spark.
Right.
I think we're in a great spot. Just before we go into the capping heavy, my man Carlos, old cheesy balls Carlos, whom we love, says, Jimmy, back home in DC, had a great time in San Fran, but I'm so happy I won't miss another episode of the best damn handicapping show in history.
There you go. Who said that?
My man Carlos. Our man Carlos.
Carlos. What's his last name? Peroj, right?
Yeah, man. Cheesy balls.
Why couldn't the world be filled with people like Carlos Peroj instead of just jam-packed with so many dishonest scumbags? Why, Jim? Why?
Todd Raymond says, will Acuna crush batting sixth? I think it's a great spot for him to sit.
I think it's a great spot too, Jim. Acuna batting sixth. I'm doing shtick, Jimmy the Bag. I'm doing shtick right here, Jimmy the Bag.
Do you
know what I'm saying? All right, so DB says Atlanta first five. Yeah. Zigzag Man says Reds have won 2 in a row, but they're still a bad team. Maxwell Smart, good cashing with you on the Diamondbacks. Alert Eddie likes Atlanta team total. Khalif Lee says Atlanta sweep. I don't know what he's talking about. That. Oh, he's saying they get swept. Yeah. Okay. Vincent K. Maxwell says can't trust Atlanta. Yeah, I don't really like their bullpen. I don't like the Reds bullpen either. Let's see. Other comments coming in here. Let's see. What do we think here?
Well, I'm very comfortable with the Braves here. I just think Whistler's a different sort of cat here in this situation because he is not taking everything for granted like I expected him that he was doing. So I don't see a huge regression here. I don't think he's just going to get lit up because he had one wonderful start. I think he's going to be a better pitcher moving forward, and Snickers said that's the best I've ever seen. I'm very comfortable with my Brave spot. What I'm worried about is, am I leaving money on the table, not taking the over in the Yankees-Twins game?
I mean, it's certainly, I've left money on the table. We've been here many, many days when I've said, I've had the balls enough to take them. So it's like when the line just doesn't make sense to me like that, I feel like the market knows something that I don't know. And so far this year, that has not been the case. The Yankees team total overs have been cashing. The Yankees overs have been cashing. Look at this. Bill Buttlicker says, Pete, thank you for existing. Yay! Yeah, it's the first time anyone ever said that to me. It's the first time anyone ever fucking said that to me my whole life. Thank you for existing.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no one's ever said that to me.
You know what I'm saying? You know what that makes me feel? Yeah, it makes me feel. All right, let's move on. CC Fitness says, do or die for Sonny Gray. I think he has a solid outing. Yanks run line.
Yeah, you know what? I'm telling you, if I was going to take, if I take the over, which I'm worried that I'm leaving money on play, I would want the full game over. I'd want to have the Twins offense against Sonny Gray and the Yankees offense against Lance Lynn. I wouldn't take a team total here. I'd want both of them working together. My man Trevor Holt back in action says, Jim, I like the over on the Yanks. Thinking about a play on it. And seriously says Oakland to win. Yes, seriously, Oakland to win. They've been padding our pockets and padding our stats. Steiner Recliner says take Yankees over first five. And then CC Fitness says repeat.
Yeah. In the meantime, money's coming back the other way on Atlanta.
Good.
So, but that could also just be overwhelming. It might have been the sharp money took a shot at Cincinnati, doesn't want to load up on them, and that there's just overwhelming public money that's moving it back a little bit the other way. It's certainly an interesting game. Finnegan is definitely not as bad as he looked in his first 2 starts against St. Louis. He's one of these crafty lefties. He doesn't have overwhelming stuff. He's going to have, subpar starts more often than not. But he's definitely going to be throwing in there some of these 7-inning, 1-run starts, more often than once in a while.
He's a very emotional pitcher.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh,
He's very emotional. So, and they call, he's like very aggressive, and they kind of got to pull him back. So with Finnegan, I'm going to fade Finnegan until he shows me, because he's just an emotional pitcher on the mound, and I'm going to fade him until he shows me that I should not do that.
So you think that? Wow, how did you know he's a? Wow,
I read an article on.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. That's good stuff to know, Jim.
Yeah, I read it. It's in the article I read last night or this morning or whatever it was. But yeah, the manager's talking about how he's a very emotional pitcher and that they kind of have to bring him down.
Yeah, in most cases, you don't want to let the emotions get the best of you, Jim. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think he's a 25-year-old. He's basically the only guy they have from all those trades they made. This is a guy who's supposed to be a stud, and he's worrying. He's got 11 ERA, 2.59 WHIP. He has more walks than strikeouts.
Interesting shit there. Okay, a lot of people, Jim says, I like the over on the Yanks, thinking about a play on it. Alert Eddie says Yankees always over. Take the 7 innings over, which, yes, in some books you can take those guys. I think at Bet365 you can take overs at 6 innings, 7 innings, 8 innings, right, Jim?
Yeah, you can pick which inning, sure.
Yeah, and you can also do a live betting to make some of those bets as well. All right, let's see. What else do we have? A native. Roger T says Native Queen has spoken. So now we're going to go back and we're going to look to find where Native Queen spoke. Atlanta score first. Okay. Atlanta likes, Native Queen likes play. Atlanta to score first, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's just kind of a no-brainer play. I mean, if Finnegan doesn't have a good start, he's going to get touched at least in the first 3 innings at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, don't you think that's going to be a big favorite line? They're first up bat.
No. I'm going to predict maybe 140. I'm going to check right now, Jim. Why don't you talk about a baseball game?
I predict minus 165.
Okay, why don't you talk about a baseball game while I check for this line here, Jim?
And we are going to move on to a new game, but we have a new commenter, the Orphan Salamander. The Orphan Salamander says Yankees team total always cashes.
I mean, yes. Yeah, it just basically. So it's about 156 at Pinnacle for Atlanta to score first. So yeah, you're getting you're paying a pretty price there, but probably some value.
Oh, and we have more. New York score. Yankees score first, and Atlanta on the money line.
And Atlanta,
minus 155.
Right. She said that's the money for them to score first.
Sorry.
And the Yankees score first. Yes, she says that is plus 100 at Pinnacle right now. It's plus 105 actually. Interesting. Okay. Yankees score first. Sonny Gray's going to have to get you out of the first inning before you even have a chance at winning that. I'm going to start. I know I've said this before, but I'm going to start tracking these and try to start making some bets here. Although probably the best thing to do would be, I bet you that my picks will come in and be kind of similar to what Native Queen recommends. Let's see.
Sonny Betts is another. I mean, I know we're going to move on to other games, and we don't have that many games to cap on, so we can kind of hammer some of these games. Sonny Betts has an excellent note, and thank you, Sonny Betts, for adding this in. And I was reading about this too today about how Sonny Gray wants Romine. He's just, they got a connection, and they're very, very good friends. And here Sonny Betts says, Sonny Gray's a totally different pitcher when Romine is catching. Like today. ERA with Gary Sanchez, I never read these numbers. ERA with Gary Sanchez, 5.94. ERA with Romine, 2.20.
That shit does matter, too.
It matters very much.
Who's the other pitcher where that happened recently? God, I can't remember who it was. There was another pitcher. Oh, God. My brain is, my mind is, there's some pitcher who, I can't remember. It was someone like Robbie Ray or someone like that. You know what? I think I might take the Yankees here, just -1. What do you think about that, Jim?
I don't think that's a bad play. But you know what? I think what Sonny Betts did for me is give me peace. I'm not going to take the over in this game. It wasn't a play that I had planned on making in the morning. And thank you, Sonny Betts. for giving me peace.
Yes. All right, I have the Yankees on the second half -130, and I'm going to take the Yankees -1 as well. I'm going to take the Yankees -1. Just feel like they're a better team, and I'm going to take them here. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be saying, no, Pete, don't do it. Too high of a line. The money line here is -170. I'm going to check what the run line will be, and I'm going to take one more shot with the Yankees -1, Jim.
I like it. And just, I know we're going to be moving through, and I keep harping on these games that we've kind of talked about already, but just important notes that we passed that I just want to mention. Parlay Poppy, great capper, says, how do we not fade the Reds? Finnegan has a 2.7 whip, 12 runs, and 10 innings pitched, all under 5 innings. And then Kevy K, my man Kevy K says, best bet, Tampa Bay Rays team total over 4.
That's interesting. All right, the run line is a +108 for the Yankees, so just a modest favorite line on the Yankees -1, and I also have them on the second half. How do we not take Tampa Bay team total over? I mean, Cobb is a guy who is a little bit behind the curve as far as because he missed spring training and all that. He's not a great starter, but at some point I think he's going to get better. When he gets into a groove, he'll be okay. Tampa Bay not a great hitting team, so but then again, I can certainly understand why someone would be attracted to Tampa Bay on the team total.
Well, you know what? I had Cobb in the baseball pool last year, and I watched him very, very closely. And I liked what I saw from him.
Yeah.
And that's why he got the $60 million 4-year contract. I mean, this is a good pitcher. And sorry, I thought you were reading a positive comment.
The under might be a decent play there as well at under 9.
Yes. Now the question is, what's Ferry going to do on the road? He's looked great at home, and it was just a one start, and he got destroyed. What's Alex Cobb going to do? I mean, obviously, 15.43 ERA, 3.14 WHIP. He's allowed 3 home runs in 7 innings. Kevin K says Rays have been hitting extremely well, owning a 393 WOBA over their last 7 games with a 200 ISO. With Cobb getting hit hard, the Rays could very well continue that trend tonight at Camden Yards. Yeah,
that's the big question, of course. They went on a big offensive explosion at home. Is that likely to carry over on the road? That's the big question, and we'll see tonight. I was also thinking about the under in Boston-Toronto. What do you think about that? I know you had that one yesterday, Jim. That was one of your winners.
It's great.
It's 9. Rodriguez and Sanchez are starting. What do you think about that?
One thing that we haven't mentioned, just to finish off that last game, is Ziggy Ball saying, in great note, because we haven't mentioned this, and we should have, I lean Orioles because Cobb facing his former team, which is a point that we didn't get into. I've been watching Rodriguez closer just because of you saying that he's got electric stuff. And I don't know what to do. I didn't know what to do with this game. J Hap said, about this. So the Jays are taking this series very, very seriously. We know how dangerous the Red Sox and Yankees are going to be, and we want to get off to a good start. Hap says, I think the city is hurting right now. It was a very meaningful win for us on several levels. They're playing good baseball. Red Sox have lost 3 in a row. For the first time all year, they look susceptible. Rodriguez is pitching well. Sanchez is also pitching well. And Sanchez has pitched well against the Red Sox. I mean, 3.75 ERA against a Red Sox team, especially when you're playing in Boston. That's not bad. Jays are hitting poorly against lefties. 229, 668 OPS. So their average, there are other teams at 229 averages that are 740, 730 OPS. So we're not hitting with any power against them. And the Red Sox are hitting very hard. Sanchez, I don't know what to make of Sanchez moving forward. What do you think? Is he a good pitcher? Is he a great pitcher?
I think that I mean he keeps the ball down. So when his sinker ball is working, he's a guy who's going to give you a reliably solid starts, not necessarily lights out stuff, but reliably 6 innings, 2 runs type starts going forward. And I'm thinking about a shot with the under here, Jim. It does feel like Boston might explode back offensively now since they've been struggling a little bit recently.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this. I was expecting something. Last night when they tied up the game at 3, I was watching and I was like, man, I'm worried about an explosion from Red Sox. And then Granderson won it with a homer. I don't know exactly what to say. I'm staying off this game. I need to study Sanchez more. I don't know what kind of pitcher he is, and I'm staying off.
You know what? I made a decision. I am going to take the Baltimore game under 9 -113. That's the current line at BetOnline. I'm taking the under there. I think Cobb will be okay. I think Faria will be, okay. Baltimore struggles against righties so far this year, and I'm going to take the under 9 in that one, -113. Although I don't like either bullpen, but it is what it is. I would consider hedging with the second half over on that one, but I'm not going to take that. I'm just going to take the under 9.
I feel you. I feel you, and I don't think that's a bad play at all. We've got some different opinions on the Red Sox Jays game. Udon Porn, Ratina Facties on the over, and then Parlay Poppy likes the under first 5 Sox Jays, and CC Fitness saying they don't hit lefties. Khalif Lee's on the Red Sox. And then Todd Raymond, who's a huge fan of the Red Sox, is staying off the game. So he obviously has some concern about what Sanchez is going to be.
Sure. I'm going to stay off this one, Jim. Yeah, I'm staying off it.
I'm staying off Red Sox. I was looking at my situation in baseball with the games. I mean, I like where I stand very much, and I'm not going to force a play that I'm a little uncomfortable with.
Absolutely. All right, Jim, what else do you want to add on here from MLB?
Oh, and Alan actually says, I'm on Red Sox as my play of the night in MLB.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's certainly interesting. Okay.
Oh, and Parlay Poppy comes in and says Tampa Bay's Ferry, 11 innings pitched last 2 games, 2 earned runs, 13 Ks, while Cobb has 12 earned runs, 4 Ks in 6 innings.
Pete, you tripping. Yes, I am tripping. I'm just taking it. It's one play, under 9, minus 113. We'll see. We'll see how this turns out. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see, Parlay Poppy. I may be tripping, or maybe not. Maybe I'm, what's the opposite of tripping? Not sober, but what is the opposite of tripping? We'll look into this. We'll find out what the opposite. Well,
focused?
No, we'll look into what the opposite of tripping is, and we'll figure it out. And that may be what I am here. But I understand you, Parlay Poppy. All right, I'm taking the over. Underdog jumping on the team total over 4 against Cobb. Eric Sniffen says Rays scored at least 8 runs during 4-game winning streak. Yes, they've been explosive offensively recently. Yes, Native Queen likes Tampa Bay to score first. Okay. Jay Scum, I just don't trust Cobb.
Yeah, how could you after what we've seen so far? I get it.
Here you go. Scotty Rock Forever says, if you ain't tripping, you solid. That makes sense. Thank you very much. Scotty Rock Forever. There you go. There you go. Parlay Poppy, I may be tripping, or I may be solid. We'll find out tomorrow. We will find out tomorrow.
Parlay Poppy says on point.
Very nice. There you go. Scotty Rock Forever. Scotty Rock Forever. There you go. Gate Pass Key says severe clear, opposite of tripping. That's certainly interesting. I think solid. No, solid is solid. Scotty Rock Forever is right. Thank you very much. That is what the opposite of tripping is. All right, Jim, what else do you like, Jim?
Well, what else do I like? I'm wondering if I should jump on Matt Boyd here. It's a nice big plus number. I wonder if there has been much line change. I didn't look at that. But I like Matt Boyd. I've said that often throughout this season. I like that he's not trying to strike too many batters out. He's pitching within himself. His whip is excellent. And that's with 4 walks. He's barely allowing hits. A 1.40 ERA, 0.67 whip. The problem here, and what kept me away, was that the Pirates are smashing lefties. Only 136 at-bats, but they're smashing them. 287 average with 860 OPS. And that concerns me. Do you have a feel for this second game of the doubleheader?
No, and the first game isn't even over yet, is it?
Let me see. No, it's not.
No, so I wouldn't even. I'll be looking into that as soon as the first game is over. I did not even look into this one. No opinion, Jim.
Okay, I feel that.
Yeah.
Oh man, Dave McCall says, "Ha ha." I love this fucking show.
Oh, thank you so much.
No matter how bad a day I'm having, I always get a laugh.
There you go. Who is that? Dave McCall. Thank you so much, Dave McCall. I love this fucking show, man. God, Jim. All right, let's keep on keeping on.
Let's keep rolling
in this show. Let's. Interesting. Randy Lockhart looked up in Webster's dictionary. The opposite of tripping, according to Webster's, is jumping. Okay, there you go. Very interesting. Thank you so much, Randy Lockhart. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Vincent K. Maxwell says Pirates look like an over. What do you think?
I really love Boyd, but obviously they're smashing lefties. So Dom Ricci, our man Dom says love Boyd. Big line change from opening. Took it at 170 first game with the Tigers first game over. Nice, Dom. Looking good.
Okay, let's see. What else do we have here going on? Jim, you're on Oakland on the full game. I'm leaning that way as well. I cashed with them in their on Monday. I took Oakland -1. I took Oakland on the second half and cashed with both of those. You're just on Oakland full game here. What's your read on Fister?
Fister is a confusing pitcher.
He certainly is.
He's always had me befuddled.
Yes.
There's so many times. Okay, so if we remember correctly last year, right? So he's in the Angels system. He doesn't make the squad, doesn't make the roster, and he's there for half the season.
Yeah.
Scotia, whom I respect so much, says, we want nothing to do with you. The Red Sox have huge injury problems to their starting rotation. And Fister comes up. And the first couple games, Fister got rocked. And then out of nowhere, he starts throwing gems. And it just threw me for a loop. As soon as I would get so confident, Fister would throw a gem. So then he starts the season, and he's pitching okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that he's pitching okay. He's 3.95 ERA, a high whip. He always has a high whip. He lets a lot of hits. And now he goes under the DL, comes back out. I would fade him. But...
You think he's on that Trembolone like someone else we know? Charlie Morton? You think that's what's going on here? Because both Fister and Morton at one point, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, were on my auto fade list.
Definitely.
And now, you think that's what's going on here, Jim?
Could be. It's a legitimate. Now, Trevor Holt coming in. Trevor Holt with some great stuff. He says athletics will kill him tonight. Fister is terrible in weather, and he says it's pouring rain here in Texas.
So the game might not go off. Is the game going to go off?
That's a good question.
All right, well, I'm going to throw on for now. I'm going to throw on Oakland's second half at the very least, minus 125. Oakland's second half, minus 125, and I might throw them on there on the full game as well. They just feel like a better team than Texas right now, aren't they, Jim?
Yeah, without question. Without question. They feel so good about themselves. I dropped some of the quotes yesterday about how Mengden talking about what a great vibe they have, how good they're feeling. This is a nice thing. This is a downtrodden franchise. It's got the shit kicked out of them for the last few years. So it's really nice to see a little hope, a little money ball. Khalif Lee, very sharp, says Fister might win. Oakland streak might end. Ricardo Ortiz says Oakland line is so because of Oakland bats. Bill Turner, Oakland is my play of the day. I love the money line. Juicy toast. Fister has AIDS.
There you go. Nice one delivered there. Jimmy the Bag. All right, I'm taking Oakland second half minus 125. Not exactly sure what to expect from either of these starting pitchers, but I think once the second half of the game gets underway, Oakland probably has the edge. So I'll take them. I'm throwing that one on there.
Yeah. Brian Watson said, Jimmy, watch a replay from this morning. Made money replay. Great. Made money. Great if you're out. Thanks.
Excellent.
We love that. We just want to cash. Hill Country's on Oakland money line. And my man, Rural Video AZ LV says tried Al Mack's Japanese baseball. Al Mack, as I said, has been killing it over there. And he says went 3 out of 4 on the over. Seems easy. Easy.
I mean, I wish I had time to start looking into this stuff myself. Absolutely.
But follow Al Mack on Twitter. He's destroying Asian baseball.
Absolutely.
And Mexican baseball. And you know who else is just destroying Mexican baseball is Nostratoda. What doesn't he destroy? But yeah, he hammers Mexican baseball.
Where the hell do they have time to find all that?
This is all they do. They are well, I mean, Al Mack does work at ACC, but Nostratoda is just a capper. That's what he does for cash. That's what he does for a living. He is a capper.
Amazing. All right, so let's move on. I didn't get a chance to look in depth into the late games, Jim. I'm hoping to get to them, after this show. But the Mets in St. Louis, Mets against Waka, did not have a chance to look into those. What's your take on that one, if any? I
have a take, but I also, from my man Dom Ricci, came at me and he said Mats gets destroyed by these Cardinals, and he does. He's only 2 career starts, so I mean it's hard to with that sample size is so low. The question is Waka.
What to expect from him? Yeah.
I see him as just an average pitcher, who might get you through 6 maybe. I've never really believed in him except when he first came up. I thought I did, and I bet on him a lot. Winds blowing in. I didn't feel like I had an edge. The Cardinals are such big favorites in this series, and yesterday I was saying, oh, well, they're such big favorites, and rightly so. The Cardinals are hitting 199 with a 651 OPS through 151 at-bats versus lefties. That's enough to make me not take the Cardinals, even though I would fade Mats here. Yeah, I mean, the lefty-righty matchups here strongly favor St. Louis. St. Louis hitting lefties very well. Mets not hitting righties well at all. But they're not hitting, with my stats, I mean, through the 151 at-bats, the Cardinals aren't hitting lefties at all. Really? I have them batting 199 with a 651 OPS through 151 at-bats versus lefties. The Cardinals hitting. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, God, Jesus. Yes, you're right. The Cardinals are not. Yeah, both these teams are not. Right. You're right. I got that. See, I had my things confused. Yeah. So it's the
The Cardinals are not hitting lefties well at all, and the Mets are let me see. Yeah, the Mets are pounding righties. Yeah, I'm sorry. So it favors the Mets.
Yes. And Dom Regis says, I'm a big Met fan and I'm staying away. Okay, sorry. Okay, Dom, sorry. I thought for some reason I thought you were on the Cardinals. Maybe that was someone. Kenny was confused late in the day. But so he's staying away. I don't see an advantage here because the Cardinals can't hit lefties or are not doing it.
Yeah, tough one. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong columns. I was also thinking maybe a shot with the second half under on this one. What do you think about that one, Jim?
Yeah, I mean, I love the Mets bullpen.
Yeah.
And I just don't like the way Callaway's been handling them. I think he's just been so excited about being a general manager that he's just overusing them. But
that one's really a little bit iffy. It's borderline. My lean would be under 3.5 at minus 130, and I'm going to pass on that one. Cubs in Cleveland. We both took the under, Jim, in the morning show. It was 8 minus 125. How you feeling about that one? I'm feeling more nervous about it as first pitch approaches.
Well, I feel nervous about it simply because, and I wonder if there's a wind change. I felt nervous about it because Twadi was on the over.
Was on the over, yeah.
Yeah, and when he ran it through his numbers, he saw 9.5 runs. So that made me concerned. But I'm going to stick. And sorry, I know we've moved on, but tons of people just talking about how terrible the Cardinals bullpen is.
I was thinking about the Mets second half as well.
What do you have? How do you have the card? Do you mind if I try to milk as much of
No, sure. My Cardinals bullpen. The Cardinals bullpen is I have them at about bottom seven.
Wow. Okay.
Rated as not a notch above the Braves and the Royals and the Reds, but pretty much.
Sonny Hill says all of you are plus money this year betting. I'm sure you'd be glad to know, Sonny Hill. I'm way plus units.
Yeah, Jim certainly is. I am not, although I'm killing it in MMA as always and killing it in NHL, but struggling a little bit in MLB, hoping to get positive very, very shortly and then just soar into the positive 20 units and then feel good about myself. All right, let's see. Elio Rodriguez, I love the value on the Mets again. Okay. Let me see. Other comments coming in. Dom Ricci, I'd lean over, if anything, in the Mets game. Let's see. Khalif Lee, Cardinals bullpen ass. Yes, I would agree with that.
A lot of guys liking this Mets team total over. A lot of guys liking this Mets team total over. Very, very interesting. It's just a 3.5.
Yeah.
And with this terrible bullpen, CC Fitness saying, I love the Mets team total over. Sonny Hill says Jimmy lost 60 units in basketball. Is happy about winning an MLB. Hey man, you're still down. Hey Sonny Hill, you can say anything you want. We want all the haters here. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, is Sonny Hill an official hater?
Yeah.
Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Sonny Hill.
We have all our records here. Yeah, I had a tough year at NCAA. I was down 23 units when the season's over. I'm up 8.2 units in NBA right now. I'm up 29.9 units in NHL. I'm up 17.2 units in MLB.
Yes.
And I was up I got to go over my NFL numbers. I had a bad end to it, but I was up double-digit units the whole entire time until last. I know I was definitely up units. So, Sonny Hill, say anything you want, man.
Yes.
We have no problem. You won't get banned here. You can troll us all you want.
Yes, and please come back tomorrow as well when I'll be a little sharper and hopefully in a better mood. Juicy Toast says Sonny Hill is a troll. No, I don't know about that. I think he's just a guy with his opinions that he's entitled to, right? He's entitled to his opinions.
Yeah, man, I know.
Absolutely.
It's all good. See,
I loved Sonny Hill.
We don't have to make up our numbers. That's the one thing about our show is that we have transparency and accountability and honesty. And so 60 units. All my shit is here for everybody to see every day.
Absolutely.
So it's all good, Sonny Hill.
All right, so let's review the MLB card, Jim, in the Minnesota Yankees game, which has just gone off. I took the Yankees -1. I also took them on the second half, and you passed on that one, right, Jim?
I did, and I'm thankful to have done that. I'm thankful to have done that. I think that was a very, very sharp note that came from our chat about how strong Sonny Gray's pitching with Austin Romine, and that made me comfortable.
Yeah.
So.
The Atlanta-Cincinnati game, you took Atlanta, I took Atlanta second half and -1. That's making me a little bit nervous, but I'm on it. Arizona-Philly, let's talk about that. We both took the over, and I said that if in the 6 o'clock show that I didn't like it, I would take it back, and I think I'm going to do it. I'm starting to get nervous here. Arrieta had a nice start in his last game. If his, who knows, sinker ballers, there's a ton of volatility, ton of variance when it comes to guys who throw a sharp sinker. sinker, but Arrieta might be settling into a bit of a groove here where he's going to string together a bunch of good starts in a row. Greinke is Greinke, and I'm taking this one back, Jim. You're on the over at 7 minus 111, and I think I'm going to pull this one. I'm going to pull it, and I'm going to take 7 plus 102 on the under. I just don't like it anymore, Jim.
Yeah, I had to explain myself on Twitter. Some people wanted explanations why I felt this way, and I'm comfortable. These are two offenses that are strong. Arrieta just pitched incredibly well.
Yeah.
I mean, if he continues pitching like that, he'll win a Cy Young. Greinke clearly was affected by the groin injury in spring training. He's not in form. Now, he has a 1.00 whip, which is excellent, but 5 home runs allowed in 24 innings. I just feel like this is a nice spot.
Yeah, I would definitely be leaning Arizona on the second half, though, here. Let me see where that is. Arizona second half minus 125, and the second half over maybe at 3 minus 120. I'll think about that, but I'm definitely pulling the over. I'm going to take the under 7 at plus 102, and I'll just have to eat a tenth of a unit in loss. All right, Tampa Bay and Baltimore. I went out on a limb. I took the under 9 minus 113. I might be either tripping or I might be solid. We'll know tomorrow, and I guess if it lands on 9, that means neither. I'm neither. Detroit and Pittsburgh in the second game. Jim, you don't have a play on that one, do you?
No, but interested in it for sure.
Boston, Toronto is a pass for both of us as of right now. Cubs and Cleveland, Jim and I both took the under at 8 minus 125, and I might pull that one as well. There are some 7.5s available. Miami Dodgers, we didn't talk about that one, but that's going to be a pass for me. Didn't have enough time to look at the last 3 games, but I took Oakland on the second half. Jim took Oakland on the money line. Mets St. Louis is a pass for both of us, and Milwaukee KC is a pass for both of us as of right now. Anything you want to add, Jim?
No, I don't have a good read on Chacin. I'm not sure. I feel like he's somebody I want to fade, and a lot of people are saying that I'm making a mistake wanting to fade, and you shouldn't probably fade the Brewers at all right now. They seem extremely strong. So no, I'm not adding anything here. I'm comfortable where I stand. And the only thing that might be appealing is the over in Athletics Rangers, but it is pouring rain. Yeah. But it's blowing. The wind's blowing out. I think both these pitchers are susceptible. I mean, I'd be happy if Graveman allows 3 runs over 5.5 innings.
All right, I'll stick with my play on the under in the Cubs Cleveland game, but I'm officially definitely very nervous about one, and I have pulled the Arizona Philly play as well. Let me just check one quick thing here. Let me just quickly check one thing.
Kevin K coming in about Chacin saying he does great against righties, holding to a very, very low average. Craig McFank saying, Jimmy, do some stand-up for us IFBC this year. Please do. Man, yeah, that sounds good to me. I just can't wait to hang with everybody, man. That's what I'm most excited, just getting to hang with everybody and get all drunk. And we're going to be doing Loshak in the Bag live. Man, I'm so happy you're going to be there, Craig.
Okay, I think we can wrap up MLB. Jim, you've added no picks in the afternoon show.
No picks.
I've added Oakland second half minus 125, Yankees minus 1, Baltimore under 9, and I took back the Philly overplay 7 at plus 102. Leans I would have would be Arizona second half, maybe a shot with the Arizona Philly second half over, and that's about it. Don't have a great read on any of these games really, and so I'm gonna take it pretty light on today's MLB card. Now let's move on to an NHL. In the morning show, I did give the first period under at minus 115 as my play on today's Game 7 between the Leafs and the Bruins. I think that's probably a solid play. And Jim went out on a limb and took a shot with an exact score. He predicts 3-2 Bruins, and he got plus 700 on that one. Although in the morning show, someone said that at their book they were getting plus 1400.
And then Magsy had told me from his local, he got plus 1425 on
that one. Well, what books are they using?
I don't know.
Jim, that was the exact line you got at Bet365 for the exact score of 3-2, right?
Yeah.
Is it possible that those guys were that was like a regulation score or something? And I don't know.
I don't know.
I looked around. I couldn't find at Five Dimes they didn't have an exact score. At Pinnacle, obviously didn't. At Heritage, they didn't. So I was looking around a little bit. I'm going to look around a little bit more. But Jim took plus 700 exact score. Boston 3, Toronto 2.
Parlay Poppy like in that first period under.
Yeah.
That might be the play.
I think it is. I think it is a decent play. And Sonny Hill, shout out. Peter seems like a total drunk. Well, the truth. The unfortunate truth is I almost never drink, except with chicks, except with broads. I do whatever they do, but no. One other thing I am, though, is very, very good at NHL playoffs. Sonny Hill, I'm like 20-10 in the NHL playoffs so far this year in the NHL playoffs, and I'm up about 35 units overall on the year. My pick, if you want to tail this one, Sonny Hill, first period under 1.5 at -115 at Pinnacle, a little bit worse at other places. You know what I'm saying, Jimmy the Bag?
Yeah, I do know what you're saying. I can't.
I like this guy, Sonny Hill. I want to hang with this guy, Sonny Hill. I like this guy. Sonny Hill says, I bet the books love you people, complete fishes. You damn skippy, Sonny Hill. Have a drink on me, Sonny Hill. Let's hang sometime, pal. Let's hang sometime, buddy. Love to hang with you, buddy, Sonny Hill. I'm on the first period under 1.5 -115 in the NHL game. If you want to tail, Sonny.
A lot of people talking about whether Toronto is really going to step up. Toronto strong after the tragedy, and obviously the city's coming together, but I don't know. I just feel like Boston is a better team than Toronto, and I feel like Toronto's best spot is next year. White Guy Video Game says Leafs had Reimer back in 2013 when they choked. Anderson is miles better, and Anderson. For what I still don't trust him. He has not earned that trust from me, but clearly he's better than Reimer, no doubt about it.
I mean, Toronto's just so reliant on him. It's tempting here just to take even though it's a big money line. Just hard for me to imagine Boston losing this game. I can see him getting outplayed for stretches, and in fact, if Boston goes down. What do you think? If live betting, if Boston goes down, a goal in the first period or something like that, or the second period, you think it might be worth a shot on a live bet to take Boston to win?
I do think so. I do
think so. The kind of
team
team's going to come back?
Well, I mean, we all. I mean, I'm not a Leafs fan. I'm a Canucks fan, but I was there in Vegas with like 20. There was 35 of us, but there was about 25 from Toronto, and that watching that comeback is still so fresh. Still so fresh in my memory. I mean, it was horrifying. It was horrifying, and it cost Kessel his job in Toronto. Just that whole team got destroyed. They got ripped apart after that. Underdog says, Tanley and Pete, your first period under have consistently hit, and if it doesn't, still been a good wager in certain spots. You know what? Mr. Gokster says, Pete, that's genius.
I don't know if it's genius. I think it's if you lose 1.2 units, which is not good. But look, anything can. I could easily see one of these teams being like, let's jump out to a big lead and try to put like 20 shots on goal.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I remember the Game 7 with the Bruins and the Canucks when our city got lit on fire, and it was 4-0. Bruins, and they were just in control right away. I remember when Don Cherry came on in Coach's Corner, and he was just scared. He was scared, and I'd never really seen him like that. And he was scared for the city. He was scared for us starving Canuck fans. Cleve Lee says, Jimmy, take Boston. Don't fuck around today. It's not the day. You know what? I'm going to fuck around. I'm going to pick the exact score for a big score. That's what I'm going to do.
Jim took 3-2 for the exact score. That includes overtime, right? So if it's 2-2, goes to overtime, and Boston wins, you cash.
Yes.
And other people were saying that they got plus 1,400, which I looked around a little bit. I'll look around a lot more if I have time. It is a 7:30 game. I'm interested to see what else, what other offerings there would be for that. But Jim took 700, 3-2 exact score, and I'm on the first period under. Again, these are value plays, not locks.
I'm jumping. So one thing that just happened is Sonny Gray just allowed a 2-run home run to Sano. But I am, and that over was probably low-hanging fruit, and I just kind of overthought it. But in saying all that, I think that's a very good play. I think it's a very good play, and I'm on it. What time does that game start? Don't say
7:30 Eastern
time. Perfect. I'm on. I want the first period under.
Okay, Jim, we'll give you the best line that exists now. I don't know if, let's see, what can we bet? Oh, well, it's gotten bet the other direction, Jim, so you're getting a much better line. Wow. Bet 365 has minus 105. So money coming in on the over, first period. I wonder why that would be. That's concerning. You still want it?
What did I get?
Minus 105. Bet 365 has the best line. I got minus 115. That was a Pinnacle. Now Pinnacle's at minus 109, but Bookmaker can beat that at minus 106, and Bet 365 can beat that at minus 105. Money coming in on the over, first period over. Someone knows something, Jim. Still want it?
I do still want it. I think it's a good play in Game 7. I think they'll be tight. Parlay Poppy says, fading the chat. Maple Leaves minus 1 plus 300.
Wow. There's a ballsy play right there. Yeah.
And I guess Native Queen just hit with Atlanta.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Let's see.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely.
Atlanta up,
man.
1-0. Finnegan hasn't even gotten out yet.
Yep.
1-0, man on second.
Native Queen just chugging along. I have Atlanta -1 in that one, and Atlanta on the second half. Hopefully, they will be able to get the second half, even if they have a big lead heading into the second half. Very nicely, Native Queen, unbelievable. Although she did also have the Yankees to score first, though, didn't she? Yes. Plus 100. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's hitting at a very, very high level.
Yes,
we love
definitely.
Her.
All right, Jimmy the Bag, that's it for NHL. You sure you want this one? First period under 1.5 -105?
Yeah, I like the bet. I like the play.
Okay, we'll see how that one turns out. Let's move on to NBA. Now, I, once again, quadrupled up on overs in the Cavs game. Who's the guy who's very, very sharp who went against me? Brant
Hunt.
Yeah, Brant Hunt, a guy who's been white hot on Twitter in the NBA, liking the under, saying that the total is lower than it was in the opening games for a reason, and that the game goes under again. The total has not moved really since the morning. I took 205 at the Greek. It was 205.5 everywhere else, and is still 205.5 everywhere across the board now. I took the first half over. I took the full game over. I took Indiana team total over first half and full game. I might be wrong. Sonny Hill, my career record in NBA is horrifically bad, including this year. You might want to fade those plays, Sonny Hill. Did I just call him Sonny Gray?
You did. Yeah, so good. For quadrupling up.
Yep. I'm taking the first half over, the full game over, and the Indiana team total overs. It also seems like, I don't know, it seems like Cleveland just in no situation should be given this many points to a team, in a game like this. But the line's gotten bet up. In the morning it was 7. It was 6. It's now up to 6.5. I also took Washington plus 7.5, and that line's moved in my favor a little bit. It's now down to 7. Right, Jim?
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting there.
Yeah, and I was talking to a bunch of people about this Pacers Cavs spot, whether or not the over was the play, and I'm not against it. Like, I'm not on the other side. Here's my man Brant coming in saying the total not moving
shows that the under is the play, Pete. Wow. Now Brant Hunt liking the under even more than he was in the morning.
And Parlay Poppy saying the same thing I was thinking, and I believe I said this morning. Cavs have won the 2 games over the Pacers by a total of 7 points, and we're getting plus 7, putting 600 on the Pacers to cover easy.
Man, this is very interesting shit.
I like the Pacers plus the points. Are they really? I thought they were only 6.5. Is there a 7 out there?
No, I'm sorry, but it was 6 in the morning. Now it's up to 6.5. But it's the Washington game where I bet them at. I took them at 7.5, and it's now down to 7. Although Heritage just bumped up to 7.5, so now there is a 7.5 available. Just 2 minutes ago, bumped up to. Oh no, it was 7.5. Okay, so there is a 7.5 available.
And P Smacks 1 Skags. I played the under. PB 205. Cavs over 205.
Yeah, it's. It seems like at any point the Cavs can still revert back to their regular season tendencies of just playing no defense at all at any point, even though it's the playoffs. You know what I mean? They can forget it's the playoffs and all of a sudden have a 70-point quarter.
D from Detroit says, I think Cavs easy over tonight. Dan Kelly says Rockets total is moving back up. Ooh, that's very, very interesting. And then my man Jake Farmer say, Jimmy, what's the hockey play tonight? Love the show. I think the hockey play is. I picked the exact score for a big score. I picked 3-2 Boston for a ton of cash. Now I only bet $100 where my unit size is $200, so I only bet $100 on it. But we both are on the first period under 1.5. So that's it. Teddy B says, Jimmy, Raptors have won the first quarter in 3 of the 4 games played, including winning the first quarter by an average of 8 points. Tell Loshak to play his Raptors first quarter. I'm on it. And I love it. I got Raptors first quarter, first half. Those are my only plays in NBA right now, and I like it. Yeah, Jim has the Raptors first quarter and first half, and I have Wizards full game plus 7.5. Let's see. Other coming in up. Mally Mal, Pacers, ATS. Wow. And Mally Mal also on the over with you with Cavs. Really? Yeah, because Cavs over.
Well, there's a good sign. Mally Mal, of course, has proved himself with NBA totals all season long, although the playoffs are a different animal. But Mally Mal killed it with NBA totals in our chat during the regular season, and nice to see that he's liking the over on this one. We'll see how it turns out. Mally Mal liking the Pacers and the over. That's nice. I'm on the Pacers team total overs as well.
You want to be on the same side as Mally Mal as much as possible.
Yes, Parlay Pappy. I'm also on Raptors first quarter as my play of the day and full game Wizards. Well, that's exactly what I'm on, the full game Wizards, and you're on the Raptors first quarter. I guess is he just like tailing us, or is that his own handicap? He just happens to be totally agreeing with us.
When he agrees with us, it's a good sign.
Look at this. D from Detroit says the Cavs will put up 115 to 120. Cavs will put up 115 to 120, and if they win 120 to 102, the Pacers team total covers as well.
Kevin Love's thumb is a big problem. Mm-hmm. It's a big problem. He's turning over the ball. He's not shooting. He says he's starting to get feeling back in it. Mm-hmm. That concerns me. If you only have LeBron as the only guy scoring for the Cavs, the only guy putting up any points, it's just how are you going to get to 110 points when you know all you have to do is not let LeBron drive, because if he kicks it out, nobody's hitting these threes. J.R. Smith's better start hitting some threes. We know Corver can hit threes, but if I go back to my stats here, they have nobody scoring any points for them. And Love 17 for 47 from 3. J.R. Smith with 10 points in this series a game. Love second with 12 points. I mean, it's the LeBron James show. 32 and a half points per game, and no one else is scoring. I don't know. Dan Kelly coming in, great stuff. Has Utah Jazz fourth quarter. Jazz fourth quarter plus a half.
Wow. I took OKC to get the win here on the money line. I took them at minus 163. That was just a shockingly bad line. It's now down to minus 142 at Pinnacle. So that was a horrible play by me. Hopefully they'll bail me out and get the win here. I know OKC is. Utah is a better team. Just I feel like this spot favors them a little bit. Maybe they'll get a little bit of help from the refs. You know what I'm saying, Jim? Maybe if they need it, a little bit of help from the refs. Maybe. No.
No, I don't think so. No. And CC Fitness says I have Pacers team total over.
I have that one. Yes.
And seriously says this NBA card is a headache.
It is.
Parlay Poppy saying also loving OKC first quarter and Wizards third quarter. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Raptors have been bad in third quarters all year. And then my man Scotty Rock says Cavs are going to sleep just like OKC. Out in the first round just like I predicted. So he says he sees the Pacers winning straight up. Yeah. All right. So once again, and Khalif Lee says OKC's going to lose. Believe me, I certainly can, see why I would be wrong there. The market certainly moved against me on my pick in the morning show. So once again, Jim's official picks and mine. I'm on Indiana team total over first half and full game, and the Indiana Cleveland over first half and full game. Toronto, Jim is on first half, Toronto and first quarter. I'm on the Wizards plus 7.5 on the full game. Minnesota, Houston, we're both passing on, and I took OKC on the money line at a shitty line in the morning show at minus 163. It's now down to minus 142. Anything else you want to say about any of these games, Jim, before we wrap this show up? Just that my man Bill Buttlicker says, Pete, don't take the Wizards on the road. Raptors smash.
Wow.
Juicy Toast says Chris Paul over 2.5 3-pointers at plus 110. Scotty Rock says you can tell by the chemistry last game. Push Off P is leaving OKC. Write it down. Molly Mall. Rockets first quarter. Now, the total. So, Dan Kelly truly believes that the over is a nice play in the Cavs game and the Rockets game. Really?
Dan Kelly likes the over in the Cavs game?
Yes.
Oh, well, there you go. So we got Mally Mal and Dan Kelly agreeing with the over.
And there's late money coming in on the over. The line's now at 206.
No way.
206.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, 5 dimes, 206.
Oh, yeah.
206.
Look at that.
So money's coming in on the over. Now, we saw this Minnesota-Houston line fall all the way down to 216.5, and now there's 218s on the board.
Look at that.
We know how sharp this late money is. And so, when Dan really believes in something, I think it's a good bet to follow. And I am going to do just that. The line movement on both those games is saying that the sharp money's coming in on the over.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm going to take the over in both Indiana, Cleveland, and Utah, Oklahoma City full game.
All right, well, let's give you the best line in Cleveland. The best line is 205.5 minus 110. And in the Houston game, right?
Yeah.
The Houston game, the Greeks still hanging at 216.5 minus 110. So we can give you that one. That line is definitely headed up. Everyone else at 217, 217.5, 218. But the Greeks still at 216.5. So we'll give you that one. Cleveland over 205.5 minus 110. And Houston will use the Greek line 216.5 minus 110.
Okay, I have only 5 minutes before that game starts, right?
Which one? Yeah, the Indiana-Cleveland games are at...
so I'm going to need you to take over for a bit.
Okay, I'm taking over here. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, where we will break down the Thursday card. We love all the positive comments. Thank you so much. We love the haters, including Sonny Hill and a few others. We love, of course, the informative handicapping comments that everyone comes in and gives us all day, all show long, twice a day. And Jimmy the Bag, I'm feeling a little bit nervous. I've gone out on a limb here on some plays that a lot of people are disagreeing with me on, like OKC to get the outright win. Feels like that might just be a stupid play here. Of course, our resident NBA sharp likes the under in Indiana, Cleveland, and or I shouldn't say our resident NBA sharp. Guy's been white hot, undeniably white hot on Twitter recently. And then this MLB card, didn't have time to get into it too in depth because I've been a little bit sick recently. But I'm feeling nervous about the Cubs-Cleveland game, but I'm just going to roll with it. And you know, I may be tripping or I may be solid on the under in the Tampa Bay-Baltimore game. But Baltimore really struggling against righties, and Cobb, I think at some point, is going to turn it around. It may come as soon as right now. Tampa Bay, of course, did have that big offensive explosion at home. Now they go on the road, going up against a pitcher who might be in a good spot to have a much better than expected start. So I'm taking a shot with the under on that one, although I also don't really love either of the bullpens involved here, but I took the under on that one at 9. And Jimmy and I, of course, once again, both rolling with Oakland. I'm taking Oakland on the second half. Jim's taking them on the full game. Interesting card, Jim. I'm ready to dig into tomorrow's card. Ready to go home, take a nap, dig into tomorrow's card. We'll be back at 12 o'clock Eastern Time. Jim, you have any final words? Did you get your play in?
I did get my play in.
Okay.
I haven't verified it online, so I'll do that I've got 2.5 minutes, but that's not important to verify it on Twitter. Yes, I think we're in a good spot tonight. I'm fine taking these overs. I think that we know that the late line movement in NBA is very important to stay on top of, and Dan Kelly was on both those plays already. Let's get that cash.
Man, look at that. Look at that. Bill Buttlicker says, I'm with you on OKC, Pete. Mally Mal, guy who knows NBA, says OK wins tonight. And then Alan Action says, you pimping, not tripping, Pete. Alan Action doesn't think I'm tripping.
Respect.
Alan Action thinks I'm pimping.
Respect.
And I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that for how I am, for what I'm doing right now.
Sure.
Okay, we'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, everyone.